This provides utilities for quizzes and activities. One of the things that we were concerned with was we were developing exams, we were giving exams. Essentially what we knew were the averages and the distributions. We really weren't getting a sense of what students were learning. What we created with this system is a way to measure student learning outcomes. Good afternoon. My name is Troy Wolfskill. I work in the Department of Chemistry here at Stony Brook. I'm the coordinator for introductory lectures, and what I'd like to do today is talk to you a little bit about the web-based learning and assessment system we've developed, which we call LUCID. LUCID stands for Learning and Understanding through Computer-Based Interactive Discovery. We use this to give online quizzes that are personalized for each student, as well as to use in our computer-based POGIL workshops. So this is the home page, and students or faculty would come in, log in, and when you log in, you're presented the courses that you're currently enrolled in. We use this primarily in the following contexts. After every lecture, in some courses, once a week in other courses, students complete an online quiz. Those quizzes are often based on a single lecture. They include items which are personalized for each student. So this gives students a chance to go in, make sure they understood what they were expected to get out of the lecture, test themselves. They get to typically repeat their attempts until they're correct, or they're given a limited number of attempts depending on the context. These quizzes that they take are typically personalized. So for example, here's a question on how many valence electrons does the Lewis structure for CCl3H contain. Each student would have a different molecule. All of those answers are known, and if they enter something like 3, they're told that it's incorrect. They can repeat that until, well, in this case they can repeat it up to 5 times. They get the correct answer. And then they say, so I think I learned that material from that lecture. The other way we use this in our smaller courses, in our recitations, which we run as cooperative learning workshops. So our large course has about 11 to 1,200 students in it, and we don't have the computer facilities on campus to have students work on this, that many students work on this. They do activities in their recitations using LUCID. Each activity has a why they're doing the activity, learning objectives, and then success criteria, how they measure whether they've actually determined whether they've learned what they needed to learn. The thing I'd like to demonstrate with this is that we can not only use fill in the blank and multiple choice answers, but we actually have ways of developing chemical symbols for students to use that are very much like drawing with paper. So in this case, they're asked to draw a Lewis structure for O3, ozone, and they can simply click on the screen to draw an oxygen atom, and they click and drag to draw oxygens that are bonded to them. And if they think they're done, they can click submit, and they're given, it's smart enough that it knows when they've made partial progress. So in this case it says incorrect, but the bond framework is correct. And the bond framework is just the atoms and the bonds. So then they can say, oh, I forgot to put in the valence electrons, so they can come over here and they can add the valence electrons. And of course, if they did that, it would still say the bond framework is correct because they still need 2 more electrons on the central atom. And now it says, oh, the bond framework is correct and the number of valence electrons is correct. So now students are saying, well, what did I do wrong? And in this case, they didn't follow the octet rule. And so they can actually, on paper, they would have to erase a set of electrons. Here they can just grab them and drag them into a bond. And now when they check their answer, it's correct. In chemistry, we also use this to collect grades from a whole host of staff So there's a master grade book that you can create, and that master contains any number of grades. So we've found that very convenient, much more convenient than Blackboard or any other system we've found. Thanks for joining me. I hope this was interesting to you, and if you would be interested in using this, please contact me, Troy Wolfskill, in the Department of Chemistry, Stony Brook University.